Hey there everybody, this is Ampillion, and I thought I'd take a break from the other games I've been playing to bring you a little something that I, loved to play back in the day. And I was, well, what I would say about 8 years old, 9 years old. This is, of course, PinBot, as that original splash screen says, and this is probably one of my top 3 pinball mid games. It would be number 1, but, well, I'll point out the one giant pain in the ass that this game does have. The field is actually almost exactly like the original, the actual pinball machine itself portrays. I mean, it's the big robot screen in the middle was the big feature of the original table, and people are screaming by in their cars without mufflers on. The large ramp on the right side has the 3 holes. The middle hole, of course, is the one that gives you the most points, and you kind of want to pull the plunger back to about midway down that line to get the points. You'll see all the lights there in front of the PinBot machine, as it were, are kind of blinking off and on. The 5 colored buttons up there on top, anytime you hit those, it'll fill, I believe, 2 spaces in. The buttons on the side you can hit, and it will fill any random column on the right side that the blinking light, let's say those blinking lights will fill up. You'll hit any 2 spaces on any of that row. They're kind of the 5 little white tooth-looking buttons on the right side of the screen. Then you have the major left ramp there, which there's a light below it and a light atop of it, and it'll flicker on for various events to hit said ramp. It also lets you occasionally reset the ball into the plunger track and fire up the spiral ramp, or the vortex, as they call it. Again, just like this. I don't think I quite get the oomph on it as I want, the proper amount of oomph on it as I want, until probably the second ball or so. You see that little green knot that was right there underneath the bumpers activates the solar system bonus, and the lights will flicker on as that goes on. Anytime you hit, I believe it's hit one of the side ramps there, you will activate the solar system bonus button to come back on. As you can see, I have one last little light there, and I flub it. Blub, blub. Don't worry, I will show off most of the features of this game. I'm pretty sure there's a few I don't get to, because you have to play for quite a while to get as in actual play a rather long table to be able to get a lot of the features in the game. But I show off the majority of them, and essentially to get the others, whatever's left is just more of the same of what I'm doing here. And as you can tell, it's already going to run pretty long, so just take my word for it, things don't really change too terribly much from what I show off here. There we go, there's the vortex, 200,000 points. I have one last, there we go, got it. And that will activate good old PinBot, which the little screen opens up, and there's 2 holes that you need to hit the balls into. As soon as you get one in there, which is difficult enough, there we go. Once you get the one in there, the second one will activate the multi-ball. And during the multi-ball is when you can advance to the next table, as it were, and we'll see that pretty sure at some point during this ball. Actually, at some point I actually get a bunch of extra balls. Right, there's one of them right there, in rapid succession, so I end up with, I think, like 3 ball 2s. Now, if you hit all 3 of those little bumpers on the left, or the little drop targets on the left side, you will activate that ramp to open up, and opening that ramp opening will give you the amount of bonus that you've racked up through the bumpers. The bumpers, unfortunately, are also like the most dangerous area of the field, as there's a good chance that the ball can come flying out of those bumpers and go straight down the middle to where you can't affect it. A lot of pinball machines and of the video pinball tables have sort of like a dead man's angle, where you know if a ball comes out of, you know, a certain area at a certain angle, you're going to lose the ball regardless. And a lot of times you can't do anything to, you know, change the path. So like true to life multi-ball, you lose one pretty quickly. The balls themselves do actually behave like actual balls. They don't go through each other like some games they might. They count as actual physical objects, and they will bounce off each other quite rapidly. That'll happen a lot, especially since it's kind of hard to hold a ball for very long on this field. You can like actually get one trapped in there, but there's not a lot that will delay the ball up on the field anywhere except for the bumpers. I mean, there's no, you know, complicated ramp system or anything like that. The only thing you could really do is hit it up into the bumpers, or sometimes you can get the ball up in that top left corner for the points, and you can get that as long as you're getting the actual like bonus, the little arrow bonus. It'll stop for a couple seconds and give you enough time to shoot the other ball. But it's one of those things that, well, multi-ball you're gonna kind of have to deal with on any machine. The multi-ball is usually pretty hectic, but some machines, you know, have the multi-ball kind of be staggered out. You know, it'll be ball, then ball, then ball. You know, not all machines will just come spit like all of them at you at once. So currently I'm swimming in plenty of extra balls, which, well, in some other context would probably be a very terrible thing, but here it works out just fine because we're playing pinball, and extra balls are a good thing. I do show off later on that especially right after, at the very beginning of the table, or right after the PinBot has been activated and the columns of lights are on display, if you hit that specific spot without having hit any like prior columns lit, if you hit that specific column when it's lit, you will in fact just like skip all the lighting and activate the PinBot on the first shot. It can be done. In fact, I do it later on. It is difficult to do, like time it intentionally. So I mean, a lot of times it just happens by random. You'll just hit up there and whoop, opens up. But let's dip into our extra balls now and show off some of the cooler features of this particular game, and the one feature that makes me, well, not, like I said, this would be my favorite video pinball game of like all time if it weren't for this one particular feature. And like I said, if anybody's played this before, you probably know what it is. If you've played the other rare Williams pinball machine type table, the other NES game, High Speed, well, first off, I'm sorry, because it is a far cry from the actual table, and a pretty terrible pinball game all around comparative to this. This one was, like I said, it would be my favorite if it weren't for the one thing, and I think the high-speed table kind of takes that one thing and incorporates it probably 5 more times than needs be, which any time is terrible. But anyway, pretty much, like I said, I've been kind of looking for other games to play. Right now, mostly I'm playing a lot of Minecraft and Dwarf Fortress. Occasionally I pop in for some World of Warcraft, and I've kind of been playing the Blood Bowl Legendary Edition after watching some of the Knorr's and Ethan's playthroughs, their LP that they've got going on, and I've been trying to get more people to play in it on our Hamachi network, but again, it's kind of difficult to get people to play games where you sit down and you're going to be playing a game for maybe 30-45 minutes, because that's how long it can take sometimes. I think this time around I actually get to show off the feature that I wanted to show off. Yeah, it's shoot for solar ramp, I think that's what that's supposed to be. And you'll see that that big glowy button down there is lit, and bam, we've got the solar value, which doesn't seem to do much for us right now, but Shazam, the table has changed colors, and you can see the object of my hatred for this game, or my outrage, really. And it's that blue thing. See it moving around the table? That thing is, like I said, it's pretty much what will make you go from loving this pinball table to wishing that somebody hadn't messed with it. It's one of those things where you've played a video game and you love the video game, but if it just for one thing, the table would be perfect, or a game would be perfect. And you notice that the special that I lit there that time, instead of just doing nothing, the special actually changes the shape of the ball, which I do not believe actually does anything like physics-wise or changes anything at all. It just now looks kind of funky, which is kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, this thing here in the middle of the field is this game's one fatal flaw, which, if not for it, I would love this pinball. I would love this. This would be my favorite pinball table. I mean, even of the ones I haven't played, I mean, I can sit this aside and say, you know what, I'm betting this one's still better. I probably should have shut the windows a little bit better. Anyway, you'll notice that there is some, like, especially the frame rate drop there. I believe it's whenever my computer, like, creates the next file, whenever Fraps decides to create the next file, because, X amount of time, file sizes, it shifts to the next chunk. That file changes whenever that lag pops up, so I need to find some way around that. I don't know if there is, but that's my problem, I think. Anyway, so essentially what happens is at this point, you're pretty much going for score. And the best way to get score is through those energy transfers, the vortex ramp, and advancing the field through the multi-ball, the ramp to change the screen's color. That too will get you, actually, it'll progress your multiplier down there, and it'll increase the values of a lot of the different things on the table. So now we've got the multi-ball, and you'll see the giant flaw right there. If you just let the ball bounce down off your particular paddle and just bounce into the bumper and be shot back up like you would normally do, the little monster in the middle will eat your ball. And this pretty much like just destroys any... destroys pretty much all the work to open the multi-ball area to begin with in a matter of a second. So once you have that ball, once you have the pain in the ass out on the field, and you want to actually get the multi-ball bonuses and all that, you need to hit that ball. You can't just let it bounce and pop up into the field. You have to hit the ball so you can clear it away so that guy doesn't eat it. So right there, I would have been in trouble had he been right there in the middle. Ugh. And like I said, it's that one thing is the only flaw in this pinball game. I mean, other than that, it's fun pinball. There's plenty of things to do as far as a pinball table goes. I mean, it doesn't have any like alternate like table shifting features. It is essentially just like the actual pinball machine, which is kind of why I like it. There are, again, there's more to do in, say, like the pinball games that I've shown off already. Again, I let it happen there. That was dumb of me. The battle pinball with the band presto characters and all that stuff. That actually has more to do because you're talking about multi-screen machine, but that's like a pure video pinball machine. This is like kind of more of an emulation of the physical pinball machine in game form. So, like I said, I still like this one the best. And right there, that column just lit up and it got hit with the ball. It automatically activates the PinBot. So if you're lucky enough to get that, that's probably your best chance to get the multiplayer or the multi-ball active when you've got this little monster in the middle of the screen, because if you can get that up there quick enough, you can get both balls, get one of them back into play. You can also do that and accidentally hit the other ball back up into it, which does what you need to do. I mean, of course, then that'll happen sometimes, but you really all you need to do is get the ball back up in there so you can activate the ramp, and that'll knock you to the next world or galaxy or whatever it is when the table actually changes colors. So, unfortunately, I think I think I have one more ball left, or one extra ball left. Or maybe I don't. Yeah, I do. Okay. Let's see. I'm kind of looking into some other pinball games. I would love to play the Sierra's 3D Ultra Pinball. That was one of the games that actually got me my first like computer upgrade. It required, back in the day, it required a massive 8 megabytes of RAM. Darn, the ball dropped quicker. And I only had 4 at the time. RAM was like $200 for 4 megabytes, so we tried everything we could to get around said problem, and I kind of want to play it again just to give that a try. I'd love to show that off too, just for old time's sake. There's some epic pinball games and such that I'd like to try out too. Anyway, this is running long, so this is Ampillion. Have a good one, folks.